Mortal Kombat 1 has finally released a new patch for the Nintendo Switch version. We are now on patch 1.13. This patch also released on the other versions, but there were some Nintendo Switch specific things that came with this patch, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we begin, the like button is feeling kinda lonely and would like some attention. So be a dear and hit that real quick. Make sure to check the description for a link to my Discord, where you can meet up with other Switch players and play some MK1 on the go. So yesterday's update saw the release of Janet Cage. She's supposed to be like an alternate Johnny Cage from another universe, so a female Johnny Cage basically. From what I've seen so far, she's very gimmicky. I'm not sure how far she's gonna go. Some say she's useless, but others say she might now be the best cameo in the game because she essentially gives every character Sento, but we'll see how that develops in the future. What is immediately evident though is that the scaling on her cameo moves is practically zero. Here you can see me hitting a 550 damage combo with Liu Kang using only one bar and 2 Janet Cage cameos. It's even possible to go over 500 meterless with Liu Kang using only Janet Cage. Overall though, I'm not sure if Janet Cage is going to be a cameo for me though, even if she allows me to get crazy damage, but I'll go more in depth on that in another video. For now, let's move on to some more of the changes in this new patch. There was a visual issue with Reptile's Order of Darkness skin, and apparently that was fixed according to the patch notes. Unfortunately, I have not unlocked that skin, so I can't show it to you here. Melina's Shiva Ranatai skin previously had a glitch where all of Melina's hair would be gone, so she essentially would be bald, and it looked hilarious to be honest, but that bug was unfortunately fixed in patch 1.13. If you watched my last patch breakdown video when 1.12 dropped, then you're aware of the server issue that would occur sometimes. What would happen is, let's say if you were playing the game in docked mode and then took it out of the dock to play in handheld, you would be automatically disconnected from the server. That happened before sometimes too, but in the last patch there was a bug where when you got disconnected from the server, you wouldn't be able to reconnect to the Mortal Kombat servers until you rebooted the game. That has been fixed in patch 1.13, which is good because that was really annoying. The first time that it happened to me, I thought that I might have a problem with my internet, but nope, it was actually the game itself. But it was fixed, so there's that. And if we go down near the end of the patch notes, we see that it says that this patch fixes an issue where the HUD would randomly disappear. Now, I'm sure that this has happened to some people, but personally, it never happened to me before, not even once since I bought the game, and I bought it day one, so I've had it for like 6 months or 5, however long the game has been out, and I never once saw the HUD disappear. That is until today. It actually happened to me while playing this match, and it really throws you off because you don't know how much meter you have. Now, the entire HUD didn't disappear, but the part that shows you your meter was completely gone. But it did come back during the rematch though. If you remember back when the game launched, there was an issue where pretty frequently when you're having a match, one or both of the fighters on screen, their clothing would get stuck and stretch across the screen. Yeah, it sounds weird and it looked really weird, and that was fixed some patches later, but it came back with a vengeance in patch 1.12. Almost every single match you would see this bug. However, it looks like it was finally fixed again in patch 1.13, or at the very least I just haven't run into it yet, but it was pretty frequent in patch 1.12. So I've had a few matches since the new patch released yesterday, so if this bug was still around, I think I would have seen it by now. So I think it's safe to say that it's probably gone. At this point, I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. That would be the graphics for Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch. I know some people in the comments and in my Discord are upset that the graphics don't seem to be getting much better, and like I've said in other videos, the graphics that we have now are, and I say this with like 95% certainty, the graphics are never going to be significantly improved more than what we got right now. What we have now is by and large what it's going to look like 3 years from now. Maybe there might be some tweaks and small improvements here and there, but nothing major. But the thing you got to remember is that this is a handheld system from 2017 with hardware likely from 2014, 2015-ish, so it's essentially essentially a decade-old system trying to run a next-generation game. Okay, so let's keep in mind Mortal Kombat 11 was also on the Nintendo Switch, and that was a PS4 game. The Switch could barely run it, and even the graphics for Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch were never comparable to the PS4 version. They were never comparable. It was night and day. The PlayStation 5, on the other hand, is a generation above that. So essentially we have the Nintendo Switch trying to run software designed for 2 generational leaps above it. It's a miracle that it runs at all. And if I'm being totally honest, I think the game runs fairly well now, considering everything that it has going against it, especially when you compare it to how it ran on launch day. Like, it is night and day. It runs so much better now on the Switch than it did when it launched a few months ago. I can do all the same combos on the Switch than I can on the Steam version. Of course, there's slightly more lag on the Switch for sure, but that's to be expected. I'm going to go a bit more into the graphics, but I'm going to save that probably for the next video or for a video in the near future. Unfortunately, it would appear that the casual mode disconnection problem still has not been fixed, but at least we're treated with a brand new spiffy dialogue box that says that it's sending match results. Where to? Who knows, but hopefully it means they're sending the results back to Mortal Kombat headquarters so they can figure out what the hell is going on with this disconnection problem. Again, like I've said before, when you're playing casual mode on the Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1, you want to make sure that before you select the arena, make sure that all the characters and cameos are fully loaded. If you don't, there's more than a 50% chance that it's going to disconnect. It's been this way for probably the last couple of months, and they really got to get this sorted. But that little tip I gave you a little bit ago is sure to help with this. When Peacemaker launched on the Nintendo Switch, he had a problem with both of his fatalities where his lips didn't move. Even though he was talking, like you can hear the words coming out of him, but his lips were not moving, so it just looked really weird. But that was fixed, as you can see here. That was finally fixed in patch 1.13. And with that, I think the video has been going on for a bit. I really gotta get to bed. I gotta go to work later, so I'm gonna end it there. If you like this sort of content, remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna keep bringing you more combo videos, online matches, and video game news. I'm Switchplayed. Done.